So in 2011, I left the Royal Marines as a sergeant. I was a physical training instructor, and we were responsible for developing recruits physically, mentally, and emotionally, professional sports teams, professional athletes. Before that, I was a Royal Marine sniper, served one tour in Afghanistan. But when I left overnight, my life completely crumbled. I lost identity, I lost purpose, I lost my mission and my direction. And very, very quickly over 3 years, my life collapsed. I lost my marriage, I lost my sanity, I lost my drive, I lost my health. And it all consummated to one particular point where I nearly decided to just end everything. I didn't, also wouldn't be sat here. And I slowly rebuilt myself up. And personal development and professional development became such an integral part of my life. Huge. I started entrepreneurship in 2011 and I set up my first business. I left the college that I joined from leaving the military, and I took my side hustle and I turned it into a fitness company. And when I left the college, I was on about £600 a month, and I needed to find about $2.5 grand to pay my mortgage, to pay my bills. So I literally had to work every hour I could stay awake to somehow make that money. And in the first year, we went from £6,000 a year to £108,000. And I'd never run a business, knew nothing about it, just watched a ton of YouTube videos and learned about marketing, advertising, and was just myself in that business. And over 7 years leading up to COVID, we trained around 4,000 people locally. But I had a much bigger mission and purpose in life. And that was to help men build their lives, rebuild themselves, rebuild their identity and their purpose. And I even wrote 2 best-selling books on it. It's the State of Mind and Remember the Mission. Over 30,000 men have read these 2 books. We run a 5-day challenge. Over 20,000 men were impacted through that 5-day challenge over an 8-year period. What we do today, very specifically for 6 to 8 figure male business owners, is that we help define the next level of success. And the next level of success starts at home. Because one of the biggest problems that we see for a lot of men coming through the process of building a business, just like I did in those first 7 years, is that it costs you everything. Presence, health, sanity, direction. And it's all well and good in the first year when you start up. You have to grind. You have to put the work in. But just like me, you probably didn't stop that grind. And eventually it cost me burnout. It nearly cost me a very important relationship with my children and my now wife. And a lot of the pain of myself has gone through, and a lot of the pain that a lot of men go through, I put together to create a room. And we call that the Top 1% Club. And that room is for men running very successful businesses that have got themselves to a level of success and now need to operate in a different way. We now need to build success from home. And it starts at home. It starts with ourselves. It starts with building the life behind the business. Now, whenever we have successful men coming through the door, the biggest conflicts that we have is the relationship between business and home. For a lot of successful men, 80% of their time, energy, and focus and mental capacity is in the business. And the family and the kids and your health, well, they get the leftovers. And quite frankly, those leftovers are you feeling burnt out, drained, and directionless of how to connect with your family. There is a lot of stress involved. Managing stress, managing staff, managing finances, managing your own ideas, your catastrophic thinking. And we tend to collect all of that because we try to be the hero and we try to solve every problem. And we no longer become the managing director or the founder. We become a busy employee within our own business. We become busy. Then we lose alignment of actually, who am I as a man? And what is the business taken from me, which leads into our identity. And for many men, their identity forms from how their business is performing. So if the business is not performing 1 month, we lose a couple of clients, maybe things have not gone the way that we wanted them to, that then affects us as the man. We then take that into the family home, and then other people get the worst version of us. So we work even more hours to solve the problems, and it brings us further away, right? And there is where this here, all of these arrows point to our state of mind. And with our state of mind, the direct reflection comes here, not fully present at home. You're in the room physically and your wife's talking to you, but you're thinking about all of the problems that you've got to solve within your business, all the things that haven't gone well. You're playing with your kids, but you're drained and exhausted. You're wanting to be more present and go to the gym, but you haven't got the energy. Life gets completely consumed by the business. You start talking on the phone on your holidays. You never really have any weekends off. There is no real connection time to build relationships. Your identity becomes based on the business's success, and the health starts to take a back seat. These are common traits that I found in my first business. These are common traits that the hundreds and probably thousands of business owners that we have now impacted have all faced. And there is no point in having a very successful business if we do not enjoy the life to go with it, if we do not enjoy the relationships, if we do not enjoy the connection that we started it for in the first place. Now, there's a couple of mindset shifts that we have to think about here. What got you here will not get you to the next level. So the success that you have built is no longer going to be the thing that gets you to that next level, because we have to operate differently, because your family will learn to live without you. And the number of times that I've heard men say that to me, my wife is learning to live without me. My kids are learning to say goodnight to me on the WhatsApp, FaceTime. And that is the price of success. But we don't want that. We want to aspire to be present, to be at home. We want to be the leader. And we're operating from an outdated system and belief. So we have to kind of look at where we can change this. Now, I'm going to show you what we do within the top 1% to kind of fight back. This almost looks like a war map, right? This is all the things that are stopping you from living the life that you want to live. And these are all the things that we put into play to allow men to thrive and to grow and to build their state of mind, to change the way that they operate so they can build the success from home. So we have 5 key pillars that brings the balance: health, relationships, and growth, personal development. When we have these 3 things here, they allow the foundations to build the business. When these things are flourishing, you in your business, you're leading. This is the foundation for the real growth in your business to get to that next level. And then along the way, we've got to make sure that we're enjoying the life that we have built for ourselves. What the business has built for us, the business becomes the vehicle for the life that we want. And that's what we miss so much. And that's where we put these pillars into place. We then provide a room of like-minded people to be able to talk to every other month. When we go away on our retreats, when you get to talk to me, when I do one-to-ones with you. Being in the room of like-minded people that understand you, understand your problems, can hold you to a higher standard. That is a powerful asset to have in your life and your business. Accountability, having someone there to call you out on your standards, on your values, on the things that you are doing, and when things are not going your way, to help you see perspective. Because we all know what we need to do to change this, to change the outcome. But there is a difference between knowing and implementing, and that bridge is accountability. And with all of my years and experience of helping many men, all my experience of being in the military and self-leading myself and leading thousands of guys to become the absolute best version of themselves, and having written 2 best-selling books that have impacted over 30,000 guys, there are not many situations that I haven't come across where I cannot get the very best out of an individual. And then the last thing is finding your true mission right now. And you will come across many missions that will develop you, because you'll evolve, you'll execute, and then you'll embody a new version of you. And every time we get to that embody phase, we will then be ready to grow even more. And this is what this 1% is all about. It's about brotherhood, it's about business, it's about balancing, and it's about moving all forwards in the right direction. If you feel that you can resonate with this picture here and you want to become someone in this, guys, then you can book a call with us, complete the questions. The next step would be to come down, spend half a day with me so that we can look at the problems that are happening, and then we can put together solutions to solve those problems. If you can scroll right down to the very bottom, you'll see the application form. This is to protect not only the room, but also to protect you, to make sure that this is a really good fit. I will look forward to seeing you on the other side.